What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Isaiah. Welcome to the final round, and today I'm going to be recapping the UFC fight night that just took place just previously. I'm just recapping this right after the event, so it's very fresh in my mind. Pretty good fight card. We had some really good finishes. Uh, Anthony Hernandez, we'll get to him later, but he looked fucking phenomenal. But let's get right into it. First fight of the night, we had Cody Brundage versus Eric McConaughey. Like I said, this was a short notice fight. Both men took this fight on Monday or Tuesday. The judging was weird in this fight. One judge had a 30-27, the other two had a 29-28, but it was for opposite rounds. Made no sense. Aaron McConaughey did get the win by split decision. It wasn't a robbery, but I do think Cody definitely won the round or won the fight. He won round one and two, in my opinion, but he kind of gassed himself a little bit, so that kind of cost him. But it was a decent win by Eric McConaughey, and I don't know. We'll see what he has. I don't think he gets too far because it was short notice, so I'll give him a second chance. But we'll have to see. But good win by Eric. Gabriel Fernandez versus Julia Stoliarenko. I picked Gabriella to win this fight. She won the fight, but didn't. I thought she'd be able to finish Juliana, but she wasn't. It was a decision. I wasn't paying attention too much to this fight because I was in the middle of driving. But it was a good win by Juliana, and also they should cut. Or it was a good win by Gabriella, but they should cut Julia at this point because she's 11-10 at this point. 11-10-2, so that is a fucking awful record, but good win by Gabriella. She was able just to work her game, look like the better fighter in this fight, just look like the better fighter. That's how she won this fight. So, good win by her, but she needs to polish up her game if she wants to get further into the division. Eros Medic versus Gilbert Urbina. Oh, dude, what a fight! This was the first of four first round knockouts, I believe. Um, the fight started off. Gilbert immediately rocked and dropped Oros Medic. Like first 5-10 seconds of the fight, and then the entire rest of the fight, they were picking their shots. Or Oros was pushing the pressure a little bit more, and then Oros just was circling to his right, Urbina's left, and then immediately came in with I believe it was a cross, and right across the face of Urbina, and it dropped Urbina immediately and landed a couple more follow up shots, and Urbina was out. So not much to say about this fight because it was only 1 minute and 3 seconds long, but it was a very exciting 1 minute. 1 minute. Um, Bounce back kind of for Orthopedic. I still consider him an punching bag, but he got a good win over Gilbert Urbina. But Gilbert Urbina, in my opinion, not the best fighter at all. So yeah, good win by Orthopedic. Jocelyn Edwards versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Um, Going into this fight, I picked Jocelyn. I said Priscilla's style. She was a brawler and she wanted to get in close and get into that brawl. And I said Jocelyn, needs to avoid that. I thought she needed to avoid that because I think the brawling style would get to Jocelyn, but I didn't, you know, predict the fact that Priscilla was not going to keep her hands up because she kept moving into the pocket with Jocelyn Edwards with her hands low, and she paid for it because each time she got hit on the way in, and eventually it got to her at 2 minutes and 24 seconds into the first round. She got dropped and got put out. So good win by Jocelyn Edwards. She did miss weight, I believe. So I don't know what you do with her. She's missed it a couple times, and you can't really have her move up because there's no 145 women's division anymore, I believe. So she really got to lock down her weight cut if she wants to have any success in this division. I think she can because I think she is a prospect. She's not on our list, but I think she could be a prospect if she keeps this up. A good win by Jocelyn Edwards. Elijah Smith versus Toshiami Kazama. Oh man, we got the Rampage style power bomb knockout, man. Nobody was expecting this at all. Everyone expected Toshiami to come in, be the jiu-jitsu nerd, and just try and get any submission he could. And he held on to as many submissions as he could. He held on to a leg, trying to get a leg lock for a good chunk of the round. And then Elijah got out of that, and then got to mount, and then got into full guard. And at that point, Toshiyama tried to get a triangle in. And at that point, Elijah Smith stood up, lifted Toshiyamu in the air, and then slammed him down on his head and fucking landed a like one or two more shots and knocked him out cold. And holy shit, dude, he was dead. He was dead. It was insane. I was sitting there. I was at a restaurant watching. I was like, because holy shit, when do we ever see a Rampage Jackson's KO like that? That was the most wild, insane thing I've ever seen in a long time. And Elijah Smith, with a performance like that, he is somebody to watch out for. That was amazing, dude. I am excited to see what he can do in the future, and it was an amazing one by him. Julius Walker versus Rafael Sequeira. I picked Julius Walker in this fight. I was a bit nervous. I said maybe he could finish Rafael, but he wasn't able to. It was a decision. Mostly held him Rafael on the ground for most of the fight. But I do not like the looks of that because Rafael came in, got knocked out by Evil Aslan, who at this point Evil Aslan is ass, and then got knocked out by Ion Kozlova. No, got knocked out by Modestus Makaukis, which is a good fighter, but not anyone of high caliber. So I said maybe Julius could get it done, and he couldn't. And honestly, I don't know how far Julius is gonna go. I'm not impressed by him. He won the fight with control time and being the better fighter, but he didn't like the pressure of Rafael from what I saw, and just I don't think he's gonna get anywhere far in this division. But it was he got a good win over Rafael Sequeira, got his first win in the UFC, and we had a new opponent, so we'll see. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Eric Anders. Woo, shit. Christian Leroy Duncan got the win by spinning back elbow and there's a couple of punches. This was also in the first round. This was the last of the first round finishes. Um, but Christian Leroy Duncan, landed the body kicks. Kind of got called for because it landed kind of low, but didn't shy away from that game plan. They kept doing it and then kept getting close to Eric Anders, and eventually just the pressure just got to Eric Anders and he got taken out. It was a fucking impressive win. There's not much else to say. Christian Leroy Duncan kind of looked like what we always thought he could look like, and looks like he finally believes himself, and maybe he needs this. And I'm excited to see what he can do because I have always been a fan of him. I did root against him in the RoboCop fight, but I've been a fan of him. So he got a good win over Eric Anders, and Eric, you deserve that for pulling out of 309 and then beating Chris Weidman on 310. So fuck you. Good win by Chris Leroy Duncan, and this was the last first round finish. John Matsumoto versus Miles John. John Matsumoto got the win by split decision. I kind of think it could have been unanimous, but I can see why it was split because John Matsumoto, while he is good and got the win, did what he needed to do to get the win, he is hittable. He is very hittable which I don't really like. Um, and that's something he needs to polish up if he wants to have success in this division, because the bantamweight division is very, very heavy with high level contenders. But it was a very close fight. John Masvidal just kind of landed the better shots and tried to finish the fight more in the last two rounds. But he got taken down in this fight by Miles John, but he got a good win. I am a fan of him, but he does need to polish up his striking defense, because you can't be getting hit like that if you want to get further in this bantamweight division. Andre Fili versus Christian Rodriguez. I faded Christian Rodriguez coming into this fight. I said Christian Rodriguez has never beaten a vet in the UFC. He's only beaten prospects and taken prospects O's, and I was right. Andre Fili was kind of just the better fighter again in this fight. Nothing notable really happened. Andre Fili was able to take down Christian Leroy Duncan. Uh, Christian got him down at least once, but Andre Fili was able to use the control time by holding him and landed the better shots. But yeah, nothing crazy about this fight. I did bet on Andre Fili. He did win me money, but no, these guys aren't going to go anywhere in this division. Let's be honest. Not to be mean, but we've seen what happens. I mean, Christian Rodriguez can't beat any vet. He can only beat prospects, and Andre Fili has never been able to really break into that top 15. So, it was a good win by Andre Fili, but we'll see who he gets next. Yasmin Lucindo versus Angela Hill. Yasmin Lucindo got this fight. I faded her. I thought Angela Hill would be able to be active enough, like she usually is, to make this a close, gritty fight and maybe get a split decision. But Yasmin just showed that the youth does play a factor in fights. And at 41 years old, Angela Hill looked old against Yasmin. Yasmin was just able to land the better shots in the first round. Angela Hill was in there and um, landing her shots and made it a back and forth kind of round. And it was a close round. But in the later two rounds, it kind of just went in Yasmin's favor, and she was just able to land the better shots, the takedowns, and just kind of gas Angela a little bit and just show that youth plays a factor in these fights. And it was a good win by Yasmin. She's a good fighter in this division, like a young contender as this division needs, but she does need to polish up little bit more of her game for her to be a true contender. Steve Erceg versus Ode Osborne. Steve Erceg beat the Dom Reyes allegations. He beat him. He won the fight by decision, but Steve, I don't like you, man. I don't like how you fight. You don't fight smart. You don't look like you want to win a fight. I don't. How good is Steve? That's what I want to know, because this is a guy who came so close to beating Alessandro Pantoja, and since then has looked like a shell of himself. Even in this fight, looked like a shell of himself. Fucking in the first round, Ode Osborne was just fucking outstriking him. Um, has some great takedown defense. Landed a takedown on Steve Erceg, and just landed more shots in the first round. The second round, Steve Erceg, trying to made it a bit more close, landed more shots. Um, that's where he kind of got that round. Didn't land any takedowns. And the third round is when Steve Erceg completely took over. He definitely won this round. So kind of just how you saw the first round. No, the second round, and I guess Steve was just a bit more active, landed a better shots in that round. But man, Steve, what the fuck? How do you go from almost being the flyweight champion to looking like this? I truly want to know because I thought he could have been champion. After that Pantoja fight, like, give him a couple more fights, let him polish up his wrestling game, and I think he can beat Alessandro Pantoja. I don't think that anymore. I really don't think that anymore. I think Pantoja walks through this guy within 2 rounds. The Steve Versailles, Pantoja walks through him. He gotta win, but God fucking damn it, dude. Polish up your game, fight better, get better fight IQ. God. Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez. God damn, dude. Anthony fucking Hernandez is a problem. Anthony Hernandez is a fucking problem, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. This dude, I I've been watching the UFC. I saw Anthony Hernandez during his UFC career, but I really started taking notice of him right during his Edmund Shabazian fight, I believe it was, because that's when I started to notice, like, holy shit, this guy's a middleweight Marab. This guy is a middleweight Marab Dvalishvili. There's no doubt in my mind. And since then, he has proved that. Because he went in there and took Roman Kopylov out, subbed him within 2 rounds. And then, who did he fight? What's Michelle? He fought Michelle Pereira. Could have won the fight earlier, but completely drowned Michelle Pereira in that fight. And then beat Brendan Allen. It was a close fight, but took Brendan Allen out. And then in this fight against Roman Dolidze, I picked Roman Dolidze to win this fight. I thought on the ground with Roman's jiu-jitsu, I think it thought he was too dangerous. I thought he had more power in the shots. I thought he was going to be able to withstand Anthony Hernandez. Holy shit, was I wrong. Anthony Hernandez is a serious threat to this division. His cardio and pace is fucking unreal. He showed in this fight that he was world level above Roman Dolidze. Right? First round, just pushed the pace each round, just took Roman down. Roman landed his shot, but looked gassed by the end of round 1, and that was wild to see. And then you saw it because Fluffy kept pushing the pace, kept pushing forward, kept wilting Roman Dolidze and landing his shots and taking him down and making him tired, making him work, making him put walk on the back foot and made him miss his shots. And then in that fourth round, synced in, standing rear naked choke and dragged Roman Dolidze to the ground. Not like dragged his body to the ground. Anthony didn't go to the ground. He dragged Roman's body to the ground and let him drop there. This dude is a fucking serious problem. And with the middleweight division, I'm looking at the rankings right now. Because you got Kyle Barallo, ranked 6, versus Nasruddin Imavov, ranked 1. Then you have Hamzat Chimaev, ranked 3, fighting the champion, Dricus du Plessis. Then you have number 2, Sean Strickland. He's suspended. He's out of the picture. You have number 5, Reiner de Ritter, just beating Robert Whittaker. He might fight Izzy Adesanya. Or he might fight Paulo Costa because they're talking shit. I say you give Anthony Hernandez the loser of Imavov and Barallo and make that the next number 1 contender fight, because Anthony Hernandez is a serious problem to a lot of these guys. And this middleweight division, since Izzy lost the title, has fucking come on fire with contenders, and it's amazing to see. and Anthony Hernandez is one of these guys. So very, very good win by Anthony Hernandez. He's one of our prospects. He's ranked two, ranked fucking two for a reason. Michael Morales is above him, but we can consider that now. But it was a good one by Anthony Hernandez. I'm very excited to see what he does in the future. I'm very excited to watch his fights. So we'll see. But pay attention to any of the future breakdowns I'm going to be doing. Next week is UFC 319, Dricus Du Plessis versus Hamzat Chimaev. I've already released a little trailer for that. Take a gander at that if you would. Nothing crazy, just a little first attempt at a promo. But me and Jake will also be doing a breakdown together, and be doing a separate breakdown. But we also have Johnny Walker versus Mian Zhang, Imamov versus Barallo, Lopez versus Silva, Oldberg versus Reyes, and then UFC 320, Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. Pay attention to all those breakdowns and any other videos that me or Jake are going to be posting. But thank you all for watching the video. Like the video, drop a comment, share. Anything is appreciated. And remember, all the greatest fighters leave it all in a final round. Peace.